YouTube. What's going on, man? Back at it again with another video. It's your boy Numbers Fan Jay. We got the AFC North today, but before I get into the video, I want you guys to know that I will be dropping 2 videos next week. That will be Monday and one Thursday, as well as the week after that. So we can try to finish up these division predictions videos, get that stuff to you guys. So I'll be working on a little overtime for y'all so we can get to other topics that you guys want to talk about. With that being said, let's not waste any time. Let's get into this video. First off, we're going to start from the bottom, like we've been starting from the bottom. So, of course, in 4th place in the AFC North, we have the Cincinnati Bengals. Let's just do that. To begin, the Bengals finished last place in the AFC North, and they finally fired Marvin Lewis.
You're fired! All right!
It's a miracle. It's a freaking miracle. This is fantastic. This is not even my team, but I'm so happy. I'm so happy that they finally let this man go. It's nothing personal against this man. You know, I don't know him personally. But as a football head coach, he was not what they needed to make progress to get to the Super Bowl. He just wasn't doing it. For those who don't know, Marvin Lewis was the Bengals head coach for the past 16 years and led them to 4 division titles, 7 playoff appearances, and not 7 postseason wins, not 5, not 3, not 2. 0 playoff victories in 16 years. So the biggest change for them this offseason was new head coach Zach Taylor coming in. Taylor was the quarterbacks coach to the LA Rams last season, helping that offense score the 2nd most points in the league behind Kansas City. All that being said, we can't set the ceiling too high for the Bengals, as they didn't make any truly notable additions to improve this roster that won just 6 games last year. They spent a lot of money re-signing their core of Preston Brown, Darqueze Dennard, Tyler Eifert, and Bobby Hart, their linemen. They also are getting A.J. Green, Drake Kirkpatrick, Carl Lawson, and Tyler Boyd back off IR. This offense was the 26th in total yards, 24th in passing yards, but held up in pass protection and didn't give the ball away more than 17 times, which was the 5th best in the NFL. The signing of Chiefs guard John Miller should give even more time for Andy Dalton, who was the 26th in passer rating and didn't reach 25 touchdowns nor 3,000 yards passing. His passer rating was 61.8. They also drafted Jonah Williams, the tackle from Alabama, so that should help. The defense couldn't stop a bug from crawling, guys. This defense allowed the 3rd most points in the league and was bottom 5 in virtually every important category. Their talent is coming back, but I'm not sold. I have them finishing last in the AFC North. Now it's about to get really sticky. This is the tough part, because these top 3 teams in this division, it was hard to decide this stuff, man. Did a lot of research, did a lot of homework here. But on to the place with the terrible towels, the steel curtain, the Pittsburgh Steelers. They finished 9-6-1, 2nd in the division, and missed the playoffs due to a bunch of tiebreakers and the fact that they got a tie on their record. That's really crazy. But no, I'm not kidding, guys. You lost 2 of the greatest players in football in the same year. Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown are both gone. You saw the Steelers miss the playoffs without Bell last year. What do you think will happen with no Bell and no Brown? They had the 28th worst turnover differential at -11. So while the offense was 6th in scoring, they were 4th least sacked. They were 2nd in passing yards. and 5th in passing touchdowns. It was also the 2nd worst rushing team in the league in yards and 24th in yards per carry. Now, why does that matter if they were 6th in scoring numbers, Fan J? I'm glad you asked. It's simple. Antonio Brown. But wait, Juju had more yards after the catch, and slightly higher catch average, Jay. What do you mean? Well, guess what? AB played in 1 less game and still had 2 more targets, just 129 less yards, and 8 more touchdowns. My question is, who's going to replace that production? Don't forget Juju was facing number 2 corners while AB was being double covered and fighting off number 1 corners. Not to mention, the next closest receiver in terms of production is the tight end, Vance McDonald. So do they expect Eli Rogers, Dante Moncrief, or rookie Deontay Johnson to put up 1,200 yards and at least 7 touchdowns? That's just assuming Juju can even be good now that he'll be receiving number 1 corner attention. Defensive coordinators now only have to worry about 1 receiver, meaning they can load the box. Expect this offense to take a step back this year. On another note, I do like the additions on defense with Mark Barron, Steven Nelson, and of course, drafting the monster Devin Bush out of Michigan. The Steelers will finish 3rd due to a lack of offense. Mark it. Now, 2nd place, we get into the team who made the most noise in the offseason. Yes, the dog pound. LeBron.
Cleveland! This is for you!
Thank you. The Browns. The only team in the league that can go 0-16 and sell out the freaking stadium every time. I'll never understand them, but I love Cleveland's fan base, man. I met a Cleveland fan during my studies at MTSU. I said, man, why do you like them? They haven't won anything. Like, what? I don't understand. He says it's about the people and the atmosphere, not the team. I was blown away. We all know the history of the Cleveland Browns, but last year something happened. They drafted Baker Mayfield, who many thought would be Johnny Manziel 2.0, but he wasn't. He stayed out of trouble, and his team went 7-7 when he played. Tyrod Taylor started the first 2 games. He did turn the ball over 17 times, but as a rookie quarterback, people live with that. This offense wasn't a bottom 10 team in anything besides being 8th in giveaways. They weren't top 10 either in anything. So they weren't really great, but they weren't really terrible. But most importantly, you go grab a top 4 receiver in the game, Odell Beckham Jr.? Don't forget they added Kareem Hunt, who, albeit will miss the first half of the season, is dynamic. They'll still have Nick Chubb. They still have Landry, who isn't fast but doesn't drop anything. They still have Njoku, their playmaking tight end. Not only that, but you go beef up the defense by adding Olivier Vernon, Morgan Burnett, Eric Murray, Sheldon Richardson, and stealing Greedy Williams, LSU corner, and Sione Takitaki, the linebacker out of BYU. Man, this team looks scary and deep, ladies and gentlemen. They did lose Jamie Collins and Jabril Peppers, but I love what this team is doing. Don't set too high expectations because they still have to fit together, y'all. They still have to gain chemistry and learn how to play together. So I have them finishing a close 2nd in this division in the AFC North. So I guess that leaves 1 team. Finally, repeating as the AFC North champs, I have Baltimore. The Ravens were fun to watch last year. I've been watching Lamar Jackson since his sophomore year of college. Dude is a serious playmaker. A lot of people said he can't throw, quote unquote. And he showed signs of the opposite last year. I knew from his games at Louisville that he definitely can throw. The Ravens just didn't need him to throw. because they were number 2 rushing offense in terms of yards at 152 yards per game. No team ran for more first downs as they moved the chains 153 times on the ground. In fact, the Rams are the closest and they are 19 first downs behind. This team was 6-2 when Lamar started. And if you go back and watch the playoff game against the Chargers, you will see how they started to catch up when John Harbaugh trusted his quarterback and allowed him to throw the ball. Looking at what they've done in the offseason, the Ravens lost a lot of key veterans in C.J. Mosley, Michael Crabtree, Eric Weddle, John Brown, and Terrell Suggs. But they also added pieces that can contribute right away in Mark Ingram, Seth Roberts, and Earl Thomas. Furthermore, they drafted Hollywood, Marquise Brown out of Oklahoma, and Jalen Ferguson, a linebacker from Louisiana Tech. The biggest plus for this team, though, is Lamar Jackson gets a full offseason of work with the starters without having to fight for the job. He'll gain more chemistry with those guys and will get the keys to the offense now. He'll definitely be throwing more, especially with the real 3-down back in the backfield with him. This team will take another step forward and win this division again. That's all I got for y'all today, man. Stay tuned next week. We're finishing up the AFC with the AFC South. And we'll also start with the NFC South on Thursday. The AFC South video will be dropping on Monday, so stay tuned. NFC South, start with the NFC Conference on Thursday. Thank y'all for watching, man. Drop a like, drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think about this division. This was tough. This was really tough to do. But this is actually the division I'm most confident in with my predictions. So we'll see what happens. But, all right, it's your boy Jay. We out of here.